Hey guys, it's Amy. I'm going to show you a quick technique. I wanted to record it for you. I actually recorded it already and there was no audio to it because my husband was working the day I did it. I really thought this was a technique I needed to describe to you what I was doing and how I was doing it. So I decided to go ahead and do this for you so you could actually see what I'm doing. What we're going to do is alcohol inks instead of using your blends, because not all of our colors come in blends, but you want to make them permanent and you want to make them look good. So I'm going to show you two different ways you can do this with using either your Wink of Stella pen, because if you want to, you just wipe it off, or you can use your plain water painters or any paintbrush that you use that has water that goes in it. So I'm going to flip you over and show you what I'm going to do. Give me a second. There you go. Now, as you can see right here, I'm going to use the butterfly bouquet. The stamp set, I believe, is called Brilliant Butterflies or something to that effect. I don't have the stamp set in front of me, but here's this is the stamp over here, and this is what we're going to do. I went ahead and stamped it in Memento ink. You can see, oh, you've got my little light right here. I'm going to get that out of the way. There we go. Now you can see it really well. But I stamped it in Memento ink, and I'm going to move this out of the way because we don't need this again. And I'm going to use, actually, I need to have something underneath me because it may bleed. So I'm going to put just a little pad underneath. So what we're going to do is just paint these. Now, I pulled out all the new in colors. I know you've seen them because I've been using them. Fresh Freesia, Pale Papaya, Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent, and Polished Pink. Those are the colors we're going to use. I have done these, and some of them I've used Wink of Stella. Let me get a few of my little samples out here. A few I have done with my Wink of Stella brush. Like this one was done completely with the Wink of Stella brush. You can see it's got glimmer and it's pretty, but I'm going to show you how to do it without the Wink of Stella brush, so that you can still get these pretty designs. These were all stamped with the, what's the darker of the colors? The evergreen. So I did all of these in the evergreen. I just stamped them in evergreen, and I came up with all of these pretty little butterflies. And I colored them all in, and I'm going to show you how I colored them in, because they're gorgeous. Some of them have sparkle, some of them don't. But I'm going to show you how not to have the sparkle. I will do some with and some without the Wink of Stella. So I'm just starting again with plain white cardstock, nothing fancy. Stamped in Memento. I've got my big thing here. I'm going to start with the Pale Papaya, because I really like that one in the center of a butterfly. And all I have in here is rubbing alcohol. Just your plain old average everyday rubbing alcohol, and that's what we're going to use. I'm going to leave one of these down. You squeeze, which most of you should know this. If you don't want to squeeze and get it on your ink, you can also use a re-inker. See, I have plenty here, and I'm trying to keep it moved up so that you can see it. I'm going to do this guy right here, and I'm literally just going to come in here and grab some. You can squeeze so you know you get some of that alcohol in there. And yes, if the alcohol gets on your tip, you might get a little bit of the Pale Papaya stained inside your lid, but that's okay. And you want to work quickly with this because it does dry up fast. But you literally just take, and it kind of blends out, just like a blend would if you had extra alcohol to it. So your center down here in the middle right here could be really dark and not. This does come in a blend, this particular color, but I'm doing it this way because I wanted you to see that there is a way to color these without having to use your blends every time, because sometimes you want a softer color, and you don't quite get that using the blends all the time. So I'm doing it this way so that we have that darker, bold color. You could come back in here and do it really light and come back in with the bold color if you choose to. So I'm just going to leave the Pale Papaya. That's enough. And what you do when you're done with one color is you just come over here and wipe enough till your brush comes clean. And now I'm going to add some of the fresh freesia to this one. Do the same thing. You're going to squeeze your lid. You're going to get some fresh freesia there. And then I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to drop a little of that alcohol in there, make it like watercolor. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to go from out here because I want that spot in the ends to be really dark with the freesia. And I'm going to do it on both sides just so it blends it out. And I think we need a little darker over here. And you can just keep adding your ink. This is a little more controlled than using the blends. At least I think it is. Makes it a lot easier to control it. And you can put more alcohol in it. Your lifters are just your alcohol too. So it's basically the same idea. And I shouldn't have done that. But we're just going to do a pale and freesia. That's the color we're going to do here. And then I'm going to get a lot more and just kind of blend it in. See? Get a lot down here so we get... And I don't worry so much with these if I get a little out, because I'm just going to die cut this out and it'll be fine. So that's it. That's all I'm going to do to that butterfly. Come clean this out. Now I like the center to be the green because butterflies are either really green or really light. You could use either the evergreen. I'm going to use the soft succulent. It wouldn't matter either way, but I'm just going to use just a little bit of the soft succulent right here on him. And cleans that brush right off. And I am going to go ahead and put just a tiny touch of the dark evergreen in there. If I can get some on my pad. As you can see, I have not done that with this one. And the last one I did using this color as my base. So I stamped my butterflies in the evergreen. So you're going to notice that it's not quite as dark. And I'm just putting a few spots in there like the actual butterfly. So there, that's one. See how pretty he is? And he will cut out just as beautifully with the dies. Or you could fussy cut him out, or if you have a brother scan and cut, you could scan this and it would cut out all your butterflies. So, but I'm going to color them all before I do that, but I'm going to do the next one not with my water painter. I'm going to use my Wink of Stella. And let's see, I'm going to do this guy right here. I'm going to start with the freesia. Seems to be most of my cards are going to be, I like this freesia a lot. I mean a lot. So you're just going to put your pen down here, pull up some of the ink, and it makes it sparkly. And I'm just going to come in here and color some of my butterfly with this sparkle. And be sure on the Wink of Stella that you rotate your pen around because it will stick in one spot. But I think I like it better with the Wink of Stella, honestly. It gives it a very beautiful sparkle. I mean, it does feel like you kind of waste a little of your Wink of Stella in your pan here. That's why if you wanted to just do it this way, and we could just take this and come back in here and color this with the wink. So you'd have some wink here. I won't do that wink so you can see the difference. So I've got my little freesia going on here that I like. I like him. I think he's good with the color. I don't want to add a whole bunch because I want to go in with some other color. I think I'm going to do some of the papaya, and then we'll do some polished pink. The polished pink here. And I'm going to do this in wink again, and I've wiped off my brush so I don't have a lot. And because it's so dark, it almost looks orange. But it's still pretty cool. And I'm just going to put some of this down here at the bottom. And we're going to come off of here. just on this bottom wing. Just a little bit. And you don't want them to be exact because it's a butterfly. Butterflies aren't exact. They never are. And I might put just a little of this just up here on the tips of his wing right here on the top. And then you've got this little line right here. It's kind of cool. We'll put a little orange right there too. The orangey, papaya-y color. And then you're going to wipe off that. Make sure you have it clean. And then I'll come in with the polished pink. And need to put something under there. And then I'm just going to take this and put this all the way in the rest of this. So that means it will lighten up a lot because I'm just going to rub it all the way in there. This pink is bold. Almost like our Magenta Madness. And the more ink that you pull when you do this, the brighter the ink will be. And you can see I'm getting that pink in there. I'm trying to keep the bottom pretty bright. So I want to keep lots of ink on there. And I know I was sitting there just playing with it, and I was like, you know, I don't want to use all my Wink of Stella because I love my Wink of Stella. It's gorgeous, you know, but I don't want to use it all. But it's still so pretty. And now you have everything is done with the Wink of Stella. You have a little bit of light. I think I'm going to add some more of this purple because there's some of this light going on over here with this purple. Really almost white. There we go. Just added a little extra to it. And we're done with that one. I'm going to now turn around and put some sparkle on and you see when you clean off your brush, you're losing some of that wink. But it can be done either way. It's really up to you. Now, I do save my old Wink of Stella brushes when there's none left. And I put them to good use. There we go. Now he's all nice and finished. Clean off my tip a little bit. Put that back. And there you go. You have a Wink of Stella butterfly. And then you have one with just a touch of wink on it. You can't see much of the wink. I've only put it on the edges. But it's not near as much as if you were coloring it in like this. So there you have it. That's 2 different ways for you to show off your Wink of Stella and blend. And this makes this permanent. It's not going to come off if it gets hit by water because it's done with the Memento and then the alcohol markers or alcohol with it. So if you like to color and you don't have a certain blend color that you're working with, you can just take your watercolor pencil or pen or whatever you're using. I know they keep changing ours, so I still have some of my aqua painters from before. You can take that, add your good old alcohol, and you can dab it in your ink or re-inker and you can just color away. So there you go. Quick tip for you. Y'all have a blessed day and we'll see you later. Bye.